Ah, hello, hello. And yes, I am here live. At least I hope I am. I'm always double checking. It is so fabulous to see everyone. And Linda says right away she stopped mowing the lawn so she could come in and watch me. That is so sweet. And it's a beautiful day here at my palatial estate in Collingwood, Ontario, Canada. Again, I'm about 2 hours north of Toronto. So how fabulous that Linda is here. The lawn can certainly wait. And yes, and my sister is here. It's wonderful. And even my eldest sister wrote and said, "Oh, I may be busy, but I'll try to catch later." So yes, you can always go back if you can't join the live. Is always a delay. I just want to double check. Yes, if you can't join the live, there I am. If you can't join the live, you can always go back and review later. Now, Facebook is deleting these lives after 30 days, but they are streaming live to the Genome Canada YouTube channel and Genome America's YouTube channel. So you can always go back and review later once they are off Facebook. But for the next 30 days, they're on the Genome Canada Facebook page and Genome America's Genome Sewing Machines Facebook page. It's wonderful to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the National Education Manager of Genome Canada. And oh my, Sandra Gilmer is here. Wonderful to see you all, everyone. And what are we going to talk about today? It's National Sewing Month. So, of course, a great time to get back in our sewing rooms. And for those of you, maybe you want to learn to sew, maybe you started picking up a few little tips or tricks here and there, but you want more. You actually want to start doing some projects, or if you want to teach someone to sew, then I've got a little quick, easy project for you. So let's flip around here. And again, I'll move my camera. So yes, it is really wonderful. With the kids back to school, I was thinking, yeah, wouldn't it be great? Maybe they would like to learn to sew and could make some things for themselves. So quick and easy projects here. So here is, Jill says, always enjoy meeting up with my Genome or my Canadian Genome guru. Thank you so much. It is wonderful. This is certainly one of the highlights of my job. I love it. So here I am on the fabulous Skyline S7 AE Anniversary Edition, and we will definitely put that wonderful extension table to use. Oh, lovely. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. So, and regardless of what machine you have, now, if you have an extension table like this wonderful frosted acrylic extension table, you see how big it is. This is included here in Canada, at least, with our Skyline Anniversary editions. The extension table is included, but many machines have the ability to be free arm compatible. You can remove the accessory compartment that comes around your machine, and now you have this wonderful free arm that you can sew in the round. This is particularly great when we're doing hemming, and the project I'm going to show you next week as a little sneak peek. Oh, hello, Marty. It's great to see you. As a little sneak peek, next week's project, I'm going to show you how, yes, you can make it without a free arm. By having this free arm, though, makes it so much faster and easier. So, and you're in the market for a new machine. We have so many available for everyone, but free arm, many people love that free arm when we're sewing in the round. For today's project, we're going to take advantage of the flat extra table space that this extension table offers. And what we're going to do you have some scraps by any chance? And if you are a new sewist, maybe you can borrow some scraps from someone. And we're going to turn all of this, to me, this is not trash. This is treasure. We're going to take all of these little scraps and we're going to turn them into these very fun, functional mug rugs or coasters, all beautifully quilted. And you'll see I did this cute little alternative binding technique, which is using yarn couched or zigzagged around the edge. And I even created this little handle. So all of these coasters can hang very easily out of the way. But in that cute, a great way to use up, I had every little bit of leftover from this beautiful layer cake, indigo layer cake, and I used up every little bit and I just combined it however I wish. And you see, I didn't worry about this piece is this weird shape. It's not quite a triangle. It's definitely not a square. I just used everything I could use. Oh, and my niece Raven is here. Hello, hello. So simple, so easy to use, every little scrap. And again, if you are a knitter or crocheter like my eldest sister, she's a fabulous knitter. She's got all these little bits of yarn. Well, great. Use them instead of traditional binding. You use the yarn around your coaster. It'll still be nice and durable, stop those raw edges from raveling. And then, oh, and here she is. Yes, my eldest sister is here. Wonderful. And again, that you use all those scraps of yarn to zigzag around your mug rug here. It can go in the washer and dryer, no problem. So these cute little coasters or mug rugs, again, great for yourself, great as a gift. How about, again, kids are back in school. How about for the teachers? A great gift. The kids could actually sew these themselves and gift to their favorite teacher. So simple to do. We're just using a regular straight stitch, regular center needle position, regular, in my case, I'm at 2.4 stitch length. Perfectly fine. We can go a little longer if we wish, because we're going to sew through some batting, but 2.4 is fine. Center needle position on my 9mm machine is 4.5. But again, whatever machine you have, perfectly fine. Now, in this case, I do have my regular zigzag presser foot on. If we want, we can try to improve our 1/4 inch piecing skills and switch to a 1/4 of an inch foot. But if you don't have one, just this regular zigzag foot is fine. So we're going to take a scrap of batting. What size you make is totally fine by you. I generally make the batting bigger, and then I'm going to square it up and trim it smaller. So whatever size you would like, there's your scrap of batting. And you just take whatever piece. I generally start ish in the middle, but it doesn't matter where. I just lay this down, and then, oh, let's just take this scrap here. This is totally unrehearsed. This is how and why I call this the Improv Mug Rug, because you are just totally going to piece however you wish. Oh, I'll use this one instead. So it doesn't matter what size, you can always cut your scraps down, but basically I'm just putting these right sides together, and with whatever seam allowance you want, it doesn't matter. In this case, I'm not even using a guide. I'm just going, okay, that's about maybe 1/8 of an inch. Doesn't matter. This is why it's so good. Look, it's not even particularly straight, but it doesn't matter. This is why it's improv. You just totally make it up as you go. So there, my first pieces. And then, oh, maybe I want to do, I'll use this piece. You decide however you want to do this. You can cut up your scraps later as you're sewing this, and you literally use up everything. So all I'm doing right now is I'm using the little guide in my foot. If we're going to, again, teach someone to sew, we want to try to refine our sewing skills. Right here on my presser foot, where the plastic meets the metal, there is a little guide. So that's what I'm using. My fabric isn't to the edge of my presser foot. It's right where this plastic meets the metal. So again, it's about I'll say a generous 1/8 of an inch. It's not quite a 1/4. And that's it. So cut it off. Boom. Again, it doesn't even have to be particularly straight, but we just open it up. Now, if you wanted to, you could have a little iron next to your machine, or a wooden iron, or you just use your fingernail. I am actually trying to grow some nails. Look at that. And yes, I can actually use my nail to score that nice and flat. So simple to do. And then, oh yes, I need to get out into the corner. Maybe I want to leave that writing of the designer's name, or I'm going to actually cover it, and I'll just use this piece, again, big enough to go into the corner. And I can just kind of cheat it like that. Again, so simple, so easy to do. Boom, done. So you're just going to do one side, flip it out. And again, I'm not going to worry about, oh, is it going to go right into that corner? Because I'm going to square this up later. So accuracy, again, goes out the window. Now, as I'll switch to this side, if we do want to improve our sewing skills, we can remove the regular foot and we could use a 1/4 foot. For Janome, it's the O foot. So regardless of what machine you have, the O foot is the 1/4 foot. This one has this wonderful black metal guide on it that helps align your fabric up against it to be that perfect 1/4 inch. So now some machines, we can adjust our needle position. In this case, I need to adjust my needle position because from the needle, center needle position to the edge of this foot, that is not a 1/4 inch. For other machines, more basic mechanical machines, we will indeed leave center needle position. And when we clip on the 1/4 inch foot, it'll be that perfect 1/4 inch. So however you need to do it. Here on my fabulous Skyline S7 AE, I can go into the quilting category here with the little curly cues, go into quilting, and look, I have a dedicated 1/4 inch piecing stitch. I click that. Do you see how my line of stitching moved over to the right? It recommends I use the O foot, and in this case, it has a guide. There is an O foot available without a guide. So double check with your Janome dealer if you would like an O foot without a guide. Now, in this case, you see my needle position instead of 4.5 is now at 8.3. That is a 1/4 inch. If I would like it a little more scant, I can move my needle position more to the right. So I just click on it, moving it to the right to 9.0. That'll make it a little more scant. And that helps when the fold of the fabric, then we don't eat up as much of our fabric as we press it open to one side. Now I've got a 1.8 stitch length, which is great for quilt piecing. Because I'm stitching through batting, again, I will lengthen that back to my 2.4. You can totally adjust your machine in most cases, however you wish. So in this case, I am going to use that 1/4 inch guide. So I don't need to worry about, oh, look at all these pieces. These are not even at all. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to lay my piece on. And this is all I'm going to try to do. You see my fabric here overlaps that. Just there we go. That fabric here overlaps. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take my black metal guide here and ride it along this greeny fabric here. You see, and I'm not worried about this fabric underneath. I'm just going along. My fabric is butted up against this black metal guide. So I'm sewing at that wonderful scant 1/4 inch. So simple. Look how beautiful that is. Now I'm not worried. I could go back and trim that off if I wanted to, if I was worried about that extra bulk, but that's really not a big deal. It's not that bulky. It's just regular cotton. So do you see how beautiful? Well, now I need to cover up that raw edge. Well, great. I'll take this long strip, some of Kimberly Einmo's solidish fabric. You know, she's Janome America's national spokeswoman. I love her fabric, and she's such a sweetheart. So here, I'm just going to line up my fabric, and oh, look, all of that fabric is going to be wasted. But is it truly? As a quilter, we know we never waste anything. So here we go. Look how perfect that is. So again, you really do not need to worry about an accurate seam allowance for this Improv Mug Rug. But now you see, I would lie that back, no problem. So you don't need to worry about a seam allowance. But there, it just covered my raw edge right there, that corner that I wanted. But again, if we want to refine our skills, well, great, this 1/4 inch foot can help. Is this fabric going to waste? Oh no, I'm taking my 4-inch mini duckbill scissors. I love these. Because of these are great for applique. Because of this mini duckbill here on the bottom side, I'm going to trim this fabric away, but I don't want to trim my batting. So that's where this duckbill, do you see how it is stopping the blade from cutting the batting. So I can cut this away. And now this is truly where nothing goes to waste. This piece is still perfectly good. I can fold this out. Again, I'm not worried about my raw edge here because I'm going to trim this down. Oh, from Australia. Lovely. Hello. I would love to visit one of these days. And then again, I can take this piece and here, I can put it down here. This is just so fun, so freeing. I can do this all day. These truly get addicting. So again, what about a great gift? Or if your child is going over to a sleepover and you want to do something for the parents, well, how about a good set of mug rugs, coasters, so the kids then don't mess up any of the furniture. So isn't that cool? So I just need this little bit here. Again, oh, maybe this is a good time. I can use this guy and piece him along here. So again, nothing is going to waste. So sew that on and then boom. So as you can see, this is so simple, so easy to do. I fold that out. Okay, boom. It's magical. It doesn't look like much right now, but this is where I have one prepared. This is where you can square it up later. But before I do, let me not get it too ahead of myself here. First, before I square it up, I'm going to take this larger piece of fabric and I'm going to put my mug rug on top of it. So again, this is where maybe you do want to set it to the iron and just press this out all nice and flat. So again, my backing fabric, just like a quilt, the backing fabric is bigger than the batting and the top. So this is all laid out. And now we're going to quilt this together. Because then, again, I didn't want to do that at the start because look at how my lines of stitching all cross over each other. And that doesn't look so good. So just through the batting, it's fine. And then now I'm going to get rid of that 1/4 inch foot. And I could use either my regular zigzag foot or I could use the ditch quilting foot. This is the S foot. It's an optional foot for Janome sewing machines. There's a 5, 7, and 9 millimeter available. It's got this large rudder down the middle. So this is where we can clip on this foot. Now, again, your regular zigzag foot is totally fine with a straight stitch. I'm going to go back to a straight stitch. And because I am now sewing through another layer of fabric, then again, that regular 2.4, I like quilting at 3.0 personally. I've lengthened my stitch a little bit to go through all those extra layers. And then now I'm going to use that rudder of this ditch quilting foot to help part the C's. And I'm just going to go stitch in the ditch is what this ditch quilting foot does. And I'm going to stop right at that seam, and then I can turn on again my auto pivot if I have it. If not, I can drop my needle in my fabric and turn the balance wheel or lift up the turn the balance wheel to drop my needle in the fabric and then lift up my presser foot so I can pivot and go down this way, and then I can just quilt right off. So this ditch quilting foot is an optional accessory. Look at that. You barely even see that. It is amazing. Even with a camera in front of me, that ditch quilting is pretty good. And then you see the quilting on the back side. So this ditch quilting foot is very fun, available again separately from your Janome dealer. It's the S foot. Now, I did the A to Z with Janome series on Janome Canada's YouTube channel. So you can go back to review. I did all the lettered presser feet. Demoed them all. Now, in this case, again, that requires a little coordination to make sure that you get your stitching in the ditch. Although with that large rudder, again, that's really helping you. That large rudder is helping you part the C's basically before you stitch. But if that seems too complicated, all I can do is, maybe I'm going to use the width of my zigzag presser foot here, my A foot, And I'm going to go off this little triangle. And then, oh, good. Maybe I'll go, oh, that worked out perfectly. I'm going to go to this triangle. And I'm just using the width of the foot. Okay, then I'm going to stop, needle down, again, raise my foot. Oh, it's not quite to the edge of the foot. That's fine. We don't need to worry about it. This is just helping quilt all layers down. It really doesn't matter. You decide how much quilting you want to do. You don't really need lots here, and I could just quilt right off the edge. It's entirely up to you, however you would like to do it. And then again, maybe I'll go on this side. You do it however you want to do, very quickly. So again, very simple, totally no rules. Again, it's improv. You're making it up as you go, and you're hopefully having fun. So yeah, so lovely. Brenda's here from Florida. So look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Like just in a matter of minutes, you can get this totally done. And then it looks so neat on the back side. Here is my finished project. Again, I just used the width of I did my AccuFeed Flex foot and just the width of it. So I did some ditch quilting in here, ditch quilting, but then here I just rows and rows of parallel stitching. So simple to do, so easy. So then once you get it all quilted, now you take it to your cutting table. This is my finished sample here. I just did a little bit of ditch quilting just to hold it together. But then this is where you take your little square up ruler and you decide exactly how big you're going to make this. So in my case, I think I'll make this, about 5 inches. Looks good. So there we go. Oh, can we see? Oh, you see the reflection of my overhead light. So there, we just trim this off. Now, this is where if you're teaching kids to sew, you may want to do this because be very careful of that rotary blade. But this is also a good time to teach them about safely using a rotary cutter. And then 5 inches here, I can square up and cut this off and then cut this off. So again, I don't have to worry about any of those. Now this, you could decide this could go into a dog bed or a cat bed or something. So truly nothing goes to waste when you sew, when you quilt. So there is my cute little mug rug, but now I need to finish it. So finish the edges. Now, of course, we've got our fabulous Janome quilt binder attachment. That is wonderful. But instead, I'm going to use the Janome, in this case, it's the wide groove beading foot. There is a narrow groove beading foot. Oh, Vanessa, hello, it is great to see you. There's a narrow groove and wide groove beading foot. Again, for 7 and 9 millimeter machines. There's a narrow groove, I believe, for 5 millimeter. So just double check with your Janome dealer. Now, I've demoed these again on the A to Z with Janome series on Janome Canada YouTube. There, the wide groove beading foot is the L2, and you'll see it's got that groove on the underside. So if you want to zigzag over, like this soutache cording, for example, or yes, your string of beads, I always say take the foot, you purchase the foot from your Janome dealer, then you take it to the craft store and say, oh, will my string of beads go through the underside of that foot? Yes, it will. So yes, no problem with there. But I love using yarn. This big chunky yarn of any kind is really wonderful. So let's just clip this into place very quickly. As always, my time runs by so fast. So yarn, again, look at all this with this beautiful sort of other yarn with the slubs wrapped around it is so pretty. This is a designer yarn. You can get so much. Now these I found though in the, this I found in the charity shop here in my town. So it's amazing. Like you can find little bits of yarn everywhere. Or again, if you know someone like my sister who is a great knitter, she has tons, so I'm sure she would give some. So all I'm going to do is butt this yarn up against the raw edge of my mug rug. and I need a zigzag stitch. So in this case, I'm going to use the zigzag stitch that says M. That stands for middle needle position. So there, it is set to 3.0 width and 1.5 length. Well, I definitely want this nice and wide. It goes up to 7 millimeters wide. So I'll do it nice and wide. And then I need it a little longer. I don't need it to be so tight. So I'll do it. Oh, I'll do it at we'll do it at 2.4. So again, you just experiment. This is really such a fun, easy project. You do whatever you wish. So I will just butt this. And again, I'm just keeping my yarn butted. So part of my zigzag, and even there, I'm going to lengthen my zigzag a little more. I'm going to go to 3.4. There we go. So there we go. Okay, there, that's a good. I don't need it to be super tight. So here, part of my zigzag is going into the fabric, and the other part of the zigzag is going off around this yarn. And I'm just butting that yarn up against the raw edge of the fabric. Now, this would be great to get a finger guard, especially for little kids that are learning to sew. There is a metal finger guard that you can get from your Janome dealer that goes around it attaches to the screw where your foot holder attaches, and it's this big metal wire basically that won't allow the kids to poke that needle, because I do want to guide my yarn up against it. But we could also use a stiletto or chopsticks, or whatever you need to, a toothpick. So my zigzag, the needle is on the right side, the outside of my yarn. I'm going to leave my needle down, and I'm going to raise my foot, and I'm just going to pivot. And again, I'm just going to push that yarn to keep it in that channel. And push it to keep it in that channel. There we go. So no problem at all. And again, just zigzag all around. Oh, I don't want my yarn to go under it. Zigzag it. There we go. Beautiful. And again, it's so fast and so easy. And it'll be a little easier for you because then you won't have a camera in front of you. But anytime you're going to turn the corner with a zigzag stitch, make sure it's to the right side. It's to the outside. Leave the needle down. Just bend it over here to pivot. Keep that yarn in the channel. And away you go. It is so fun. It is so easy. And then again, now mine shifted a little bit because I didn't quilt it enough. This is why you need some quilting to hold it together. I didn't quilt mine enough. This was just a quick little sample. So mine shifted, but once you quilt it enough, it's going to be fine. So there, I'll just pretend that didn't happen. There we go. So when I come to this edge, you see how this was my bit that I started with. And I'm not going to quite cut that off. I'm going to come back here to the corner like that. And again, I'm going to leave my needle in the right, and then I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to bring it back. Oh, can I bring it back this way? Because I want to bring this previous yarn back, and I'll bring this one back as like my little handle. This is how I did my little handle. So I went off my mug rug, and I took this, again, previous little bit of yarn that I started with, and I just couched them together like this. And then I brought it over here. And now if I wanted to, I still have some yarn. This gets so fun, so freeing. Maybe I want more yarn to show. So in this case now I'm going to pivot with my needle to the left, because now that's the outside. So I'm just adding, is this now too thick? You don't want to make it too thick, but I thought, I could add more of this yarn Yeah, maybe it was just a little too thick. It's quite a chunky yarn. Oh, there we go. Just a little thick on the corner. But you can add, if you want your yarn to be a little thicker, you just keep adding. Now, of course, I could make it easier as well. In this case, I'm just kind of rounding the corner. You don't even have to pivot the corner. You could round them off if you wish. And then I'll come back here, and to end this, I will just cut off my yarn and snug it in. And again, because of that zigzag stitching, it's going to hold that yarn in place. I can do a little zigzag or a little back stitch. I could do a little lock stitch. Cut my threads. Boom. So isn't that adorable? Your little handle to hold up your mug rug. And then again, there is the zigzag stitching. And now there it's double because again, I added the yarn. I made it like chunkier on the edge. So it's really, really fun to do. There is a little chunkier. Oh, and in this case, like, oh, the yarn didn't quite catch. Well, oh, does that matter? No, it caught on this edge, the outer edge, yes. But there, it didn't really matter. So again, so much that you could do. Your quick little mug rugs. They're so adorable to finish them off however you wish. But again, they're so fast and easy, perfectly secure to, again, throw in the washing machine, and a fun little quick project for the kids, especially as they learn to sew. Or anyone who learns to sew. Yeah, so wonderful. So thank you everyone so much for joining me. It is always so fun to see everyone. I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I will see you all next week for another fast, fun project. So have a wonderful day. Bye.